My mother handed my extra key to my sibling and let her settle into my home while I was at the office. So I contacted the authorities, and now she's restrained. I have to vent this utterly bizarre tale because I'm still trying to wrap my head around the sequence of events. This involves how my relatives attempted to essentially take over my property, and how fate turned the tables on them so thoroughly that they're now pleading with me for assistance. Get some snacks and get comfortable, as this escalates dramatically, and the conclusion is sheer retribution. First, I'll provide the full context so you grasp why this struck so deeply, and why the following actions were so profoundly disturbing. This goes beyond typical household conflicts. It's about accumulated bitterness and privilege finally erupting. I'm a 28-year-old guy, and during our childhood we faced severe hardships. Our father left when I was 12, abandoning our mother with 3 children and overwhelming debts that appeared insurmountable. I'm the eldest. Next is my sister Jessica, 26, and my brother Tyler, 24. As our mom juggled 2 positions to maintain basic utilities and meals, I was hustling non-stop from the start. Began employment at 14, handling yard work, storage duties, furniture relocation, anything available. In secondary school, I was the student laboring on weekends and holidays, while peers enjoyed gatherings and outings at shopping centers. I self-educated in building trades, advanced to overseeing projects through pure persistence, prepared for my PMP credential while employed full-time at a wood supply store, earning just above the base rate. The journey was tough, folks. It required 6 extended years of local college and evening sessions to earn my degree in building oversight since I funded it all myself. No educational debts as I didn't meet criteria. No family aid since funds were scarce. Each term, I'd accumulate $2,800 for classes, materials, and charges. Survived on inexpensive noodles, nut spreads on bread, and discounted store items. Operated a worn-out 2004 Toyota Camry that failed monthly and drained my wallet for fixes. The effort was genuine, people. While classmates partied in university, I clocked 60-hour shifts daily and reviewed for qualifications on off days and nights. Skipped numerous celebrations, romantic outings, trips, group activities. Essentially all the enjoyable aspects of higher education. But it ultimately succeeded. Jump to today, and I'm earning decent income, own my residence, a nice 3-bedroom property with a double garage and work area, 2 fully owned cars, a 2020 Silverado and an old bike I'm fixing up, and roughly $78,000 in reserves and assets. My sister Jessica embodies the antithesis of my values. This woman has never held a legitimate position ever, truly never. She's an online personality on platforms like Instagram with perhaps 4,000 fans who truly believes she's famous. Resides with her intermittent partner, Devin, who peddles assorted items digitally and labels himself a business owner, but hasn't exceeded $200 monthly, shifts among acquaintances' sofas during their disputes, and routinely solicits relatives for funds, covering rent to fuel to edibles. She's good-looking, I'll admit that, but lacks intelligence and feels entitled beyond comprehension. She assumes society owes her for merely being alive and attractive, has never covered her mobile charges, vehicle coverage, or any expenses really, always has justifications for avoiding employment. The roles are too lowly, supervisors undervalue her abilities, schedules clash with her routine, etc. Tyler isn't much improved, but he's far less spiteful than Jessica. The young man has drifted through higher education for 6 years, altering fields each term as if selecting outfits. Began with company management, shifted to media relations, then cinema analysis, then visual arts, currently pursuing online promotion at a local institution. Mom has funded his education, housing, auto installments, protection, communication costs, food supplies, virtually all. He's never sustained employment beyond 4 months since bosses fail to grasp his artistic perspective, or the setting hampers his capabilities. This is where it becomes truly disturbing, and you'll see my fury. Mom indulges both excessively. Always did, likely always will. At 16, while I labored 35 hours weekly with a 3.8 average, she'd scold me on prioritizing kin if I couldn't lend Jessica cash for her weekly whims. When Tyler wrecked his vehicle texting behind the wheel, his 3rd incident, Mom secured a loan she couldn't manage to replace it. When Jessica faced eviction after skipping rent for 3 months, Mom allowed her return without any charges. But for me, when I required $600 for a qualification test promising advancement and salary boost, I had to plead and vow repayment with extra within a month. When I sought advanced courses in school for superior universities, I covered all costs myself while serving evenings at an eatery. The signal was obvious. I was the dependable one, thus undeserving of aid. They were the failures, so they merited full backing. 3 months back, I realized my goal and acquired my home. Not a small initial flat or unit. A proper dwelling in a pleasant area with quality education and minimal offenses. 3 sleeping quarters, 2.5 baths, connected double parking, basement craft space, reasonable yard with established foliage. I amassed $55,000 for the initial payment over 4 years of frugal living. The loan is $1,950 monthly, manageable with surplus for reserves and leisure. This spot is my total haven. I've arranged my entertainment system with a personalized computer and several screens, a domestic workspace for additional advisory gigs that generate extra funds, a craft area for repairing classic bike components and tasks. All structured precisely as desired. Every item in that dwelling was purchased, selected, and positioned by me. During my welcome gathering barbecue with kin invited to commemorate, the responses were revealing. Mom repeatedly mentioned my fortune and how certain individuals receive all opportunities, disregarding the years of dedication that led there. Jessica spent the time capturing self-portraits in various areas and inquiring if she could use the spot for social media sessions with pals. Tyler focused more on my large screen and gaming console than acknowledging my success. That ought to have signaled impending issues. Roughly 7 weeks prior, Jessica's recent turmoil detonated spectacularly. She'd been residing with Devin in his single-room unit, funded by his folks since he's 25 without stable work. But evidently, his parents learned Jessica had been methodically pilfering deliveries from residents and reselling the goods for fast money. Not a mistaken grab. She trailed delivery vehicles in the building, snatching parcels from entrances, then listing contents on online markets. Devin's folks discovered when a resident sought a lost package with costly gadgets, and his mother located them in Jessica's auto. Devin's parents issued an immediate demand. Jessica departs forever or they halt his housing support, leading to removal. Devin picked his allowance over his companion, leaving Jessica hunting for a temporary spot. She attempted her usual cycle, shifting among friends' furniture, contacting past connections, even trying to allure a stranger from a romance application. None lasted as Jessica excels at destroying relationships swiftly. She's the sort who lingers too long, consumes all provisions, invites strangers unasked, and disrupts life quickly. She returned to Mom's briefly, but it collapsed after 10 days. You see, Mom's been seeing this man Richard for around a year, and he's genuinely solid. Employed as a skilled electrician, organized life, kind to Mom, intolerant of foolishness. But he has no patience for Jessica's conduct. When Jessica hosted unknown men at late hours for meetings, left dubious powder traces in the washroom, and took $180 from Mom's bag for a tire, Richard set boundaries. He presented Mom with a stark choice. Jessica departs forever or he does. Mom selected Richard, truly her wisest choice in ages. So Jessica was truly without alternatives, confronting genuine vagrancy initially. That's when the call arrived that initiated this ordeal. Hey, elder sibling. Jessica's tone was overly affectionate and phony, her refined manipulative style. I'm in a tough bind currently, and I hoped my highly accomplished brother could assist his younger sister in a challenging period. I anticipated the direction before she concluded. What do you require, Jess? Well, I simply need a spot to stay briefly while I stabilize and plan ahead. I've got promising posing chances arranged and various employment discussions. It'd be purely short-term until... No, what? You interrupted my explanation. I don't require the remainder. The response is no. You're not residing at my location under any conditions. She swiftly adopted sufferer role, her typical tactic when denied. I can't fathom your cruelty and lack of compassion. I'm your kin. I'm truly without shelter and you refuse aid. You're without shelter due to poor decisions culminating here. Not my duty to resolve. But you possess 3 full sleeping areas. You're utterly self-centered with that unused area. I calmly clarified that one is my personal space, one serves as my professional and leisure zone for tasks and unwinding, and one holds my craft supplies with valuable equipment and bike components. No visitor area as I deliberately avoided extended stays. The entire purpose of owning my space was complete control. Fine, whatever. I'll use the sofa. I vow I'll be extremely tidy, silent, and useful domestically. I'll prepare meals, tidy, wash clothes, and... Jessica, definitely not. You've never maintained order or quietness ever. Recall staying at Tyler's unit for a weekend and ruining it so severely he forfeited his full deposit. That's when she initiated the dramatics, phony crying, quivering mouth, her lifelong rehearsed act. I believed kin supported one another in difficulties. When you required assistance as a child, we supported you. When? Precisely when did you or others support me? I recall toiling while you received everything freely. She disconnected with a theatrical cry. Precisely 25 minutes afterward, my device rang. Mom's contact. Michael, I just conversed with Jessica regarding your discussion. She's truly facing hardships and needs kin backing. I recognize her struggles, Mom, and I proposed aiding her search for budget housing and even advancing deposit funds if necessary. But she's not staying at my residence. She merely requires a temporary spot while recovering. You have excess area unused. It's my area I labored intensely for and saved to obtain. Why can't Tyler assist? Tyler's unit is overly compact for two. Tyler's one sleeping unit costs Mom $800 monthly. What about Richard's? They could stay provisionally. Richard firmly opposes after the thefts and substances, wise individual. I oppose for identical causes. Mom deployed every manipulation tactic, kin uniting in tough periods. How ashamed Dad would feel seeing my treatment of my sister. Really. How I'm turning distant and unfeeling like him. I remained resolute. Jessica wasn't entering my home whatsoever. Conversation closed. I assumed that resolved it permanently. I was profoundly mistaken. Last Tuesday, I returned from an extended shift at a site about 6:45 p.m. Fatigued and anticipating a calm night. I instantly detected issues upon entering my drive-first key indicator. My entrance was unsecured, and I always secured it upon departure. Second indicator. Unfamiliar aromas from my cooking area and noises from above that shouldn't exist. I entered my sitting area and almost suffered cardiac arrest. Jessica lounged on my hide sofa in brief shorts and short top, casually applying vivid pink polish while viewing streaming on my large display as if she possessed it. Delivery boxes littered my costly table, cosmetics strewn across surfaces, her garments hung over my furnishings like she'd resided there weeks. "Hey, elder bro," she said cheerfully without glancing from her hands. "Hope it's okay. I requested Thai cuisine for supper. Got you pad Thai as well. It's in the cooking area cooling. What on earth are you doing in my residence? Oh, Mom provided the extra key from your storage. She thought you'd eventually agree once seeing my genuine need. I rushed to the cooking area, resembling a storm's aftermath, then quake. Filthy utensils scattered, delivery packs on surfaces. My fine stone tops covered in her beauty items and hair devices. She devoured most of my weekly prepared meals and left empties like trash, but worse awaited. Upstairs was chaos. She'd overtaken my craft storage, shoving costly gear and classic bike parts haphazardly for her beauty setup on my clean bench. Her attire everywhere on my repair tools, floor, in containers with priceless inherited items from Grandpa. I discovered her lighting rig in my ordered space, planning to use my home for dubious online material. Leave my residence. Immediately. Mikey, relax. It's temporary until I stabilize and locate my own. Weeks at most, promise. I already denied. You can't invade my home and relocate without consent. I didn't invade. Mom supplied the key, so it's legal. Mom doesn't reside here and lacks authority to grant access. She sighed theatrically. Goodness, you're overreacting. I'm not damaging or troubling. I'll assist with expenses, tidying, cooking. You lack employment. How will you contribute to costs without earnings? I've got posing sessions next week, and Devin may reconcile if handled well. Then I saw she'd raided my cooler and storage, not just consuming. She'd taken nearly all my weekly supplies, including premium natural items for recipes. Gather your items and depart my residence. Now I'm staying. Mom permitted and said you'd rationalize. Mom doesn't own this. I do. My name on title and loan. Depart now or police arrive. Jessica laughed as if it was hilarious. You won't summon authorities on your kin. Cease dramatics like it's major. So I dialed emergency before her. Laughter ceased, face blanched. Emergency, your issue? Report unauthorized entry refusing departure. Jessica panicked, gesturing wildly. Hold on, you can't, I'm family madness. I demanded exit repeatedly. You declined. Trespassing. Dispatcher noted units en route, 15 minutes. Jessica texted Mom and Tyler frantically, then attempted persuasion via offers. Promised introductions to attractive acquaintances for dating if allowed brief stay. When officers came, two professionals, Jessica played innocent. Claimed kin mix-up, brief visit. Officers requested proof of residency. Rental, correspondence, bills, none provided. They instructed gather items and exit promptly. Jessica cried genuinely, no place, fearful alone. One seemed empathetic until hearing unauthorized days. If no permission and no documents, depart or arrested for trespass. Took nearly 2 hours packing, delaying. Officers threatened immediate arrest if not gone in 30 minutes. Before departing, she glared hatefully and said, "You'll regret this." Kin remember betrayals, then scratched my vehicle passenger side deeply. Next day, locksmith altered all locks, entries, garage, windows. $1,100, but worthwhile security. Checked for hidden duplicates from Mom. Installed full monitoring with cameras on accesses and detectors inside. Any intrusion recorded clearly. Mom called evening, raging about traumatizing Jessica and ruining kin with ego. Jessica arrived hysterical, alleging baseless police call and threats. Lies. No alternatives, Michael. Such cruelty. Tyler's unit possible. Too small, she should have considered before thefts and evictions. One error. Errors happen. Consequences follow, hers to face. Mom fabricated tales of Jessica car sleeping, terrified streets. Later, Tyler revealed Jessica with older man from arrangement site. Lies for manipulation. Tyler furious too. Jessica convinced him I abandoned kin, monster valuing cash over blood. Long message on success altering me like absent father. Shock 4 days later. Home 7 p.m., rear gate forced, craft area burgled. $2,800 gear stolen, including priceless grandpa bike tools. New cameras captured Jessica, an unknown man loading truck 1:30 a.m. targeted precisely. Police called, charged break-in, theft, damage. Arrested Jessica 6 hours later, she claimed owed for life ruined by denial. Man was Devin, reconciled for revenge robbery, both felonies. Jessica jailed 3 nights before Mom gathered $5,000 bail unaffordably, then kin war exploded wildly. Mom erupted, contacting all relatives with distorted story of jailing sister for aid request. Portrayed Jessica victim, me villain preferring kin homeless than share room. Tyler cut contact, blocked online. Posted on social about blood meaningless, ashamed shared genes with cold calculator. Aunts, uncles bombarded with anger. Cousin Danny labeled trash forgetting origins. Uncle Bob said like worthless dad abandoning needy kin. Ironic none helped Jessica themselves. Quick judgments, no sacrifices, blocked most, changed number. Focused work, gym for stress, rebuilt tools. Peaceful sans drama, unaware worsening ahead. 10 weeks quiet from kin. Rebuilt craft, dated wonderful Sarah from bike event, best life. Case progressed, possible repayment. Tyler called 11 p.m. desperate, everything collapsing. Need aid, no options. Mom covered Tyler's all, housing, auto, coverage, phone, school, food, extras. After Jessica's bail, fees, Mom broke, cards maxed, payments missed. Tyler dropped school unpaid, eviction soon. Car seized last week unpaid. Job at retail, $11.50 hourly, 25 hours weekly. Homeless imminent. Nowhere, no funds, Moms. Richard moving in, no room. Jessica, bad spot, can't aid. Jessica dumped by a ranger upon charges. Back Devin, but parents banned post-thefts. Squatting abandoned with shady folks. I know anger justified, but desperate, lesson learned. Need stability for independence. Almost pitied. Tyler less vicious, just pampered, gullible. But recalled quick betrayal via Jessica's deceptions. Facebook posts on cold heart. Angry didn't mean, said garbage like father, defending Jessica thought harsh. Now, pause, heavy breath, maybe not full truth. Tyler begged extra room stay, rent soon, spotless, no guests, chores, yard. What Jessica pledged falsely. Tempted briefly. Tyler least troublesome. But recalled betrayal ease. I'll consider, reply later, knowing unlikely, month ago. No callback. Last week learned Jessica's silence reason, worse imagined. Sarah and I dined upscale meat place celebrating senior oversight promotion, spotted familiar at bar. Cousin Danny, who called garbage, looked awful. Slimmer, tired eyes, circles, slumped. Saw me approach table ashamed. Mike minute talk. Sarah sensed drama, waited car. Danny sat near collapse. Oh, huge apology. Massive for believing Jessica's deceptions. Horrible names. Turning kin against? All. Danny housed Jessica briefly 6 weeks back. She cried homeless. Stole console, girlfriend jewels, $350 roommate savings. Confronted, claimed borrowing, repay via contracts. Told all professional poser but online dug. Sketchy adult material with dubious for $40 video. Disturbing, stomach sank. Jessica wild but knew low. Worse. Used my name town-wide, sister to successful manager vouching. Credit apps my address. Explained odd mail, applications, collections, docs Jessica's name my address. Danny, why now? Robbed 87-year grandma 2 weeks back. Blood froze. Danny's grandma 87, alone senior spot, fixed funds. Jessica posed as Danny's partner needing emergency cash. Gave $750, likely monthly essentials. Grandma called on surgery money, wanted strangled Jessica. Vanished. Where now? Jail. Arrested pharmacy theft, cosmetics, meds. Listed me emergency contact. Danny's approach reason. Mom soliciting all for Jessica's new bail lawyer. But all broke. Tyler evicted, car sleeping lot, gym showers. Mom maxed cards, second home loan for prior fees. Richard left fed up drama, income gone. Kin burned by Jessica, no more aid. Mom losing house 3 months behind without Richard. What expect me? All hope you'll assist. No treated badly but only with savings. I laughed aloud, stares, clarify. Months called selfish, heartless for not.